Hey, and welcome to Glue Wednesday. I'm getting on early, as is my habit or mode of operation. I like to get on early and give Facebook a chance to build the audience so I can do my shout outs as well, even though this is our interactive day. But 1 o'clock, we'll begin the message, 1 o'clock Eastern. So we've got less than 4 minutes before the message begins. But I hope you're getting on. And, as you think about what your mode of operation is for a live broadcast, think about it in terms of, or consider my way. And that is because I've had people say, well, you shouldn't get on. If it says you get on at 1, you should start at 1. But how many broadcasts have you seen that come on at 1? And then the host says, okay, good. Yeah, we're just going to wait for a few more people to get on. I say, why not get on early and do that so that you can start at 1 o'clock, as you say? That's just my way of looking at it. So, different schools of thought. Everybody should have their own, and that is definitely mine. So, welcome to Glue Wednesday. And we have less than 3 minutes to go before our meeting. Now, because I'm doing this live streaming from an app called Stream Dog, there's a time delay, and so I actually don't get to. I don't see who's on unless you put a comment in the chat. So I see right now that there are 3 people on, but I have no idea who they are. If you want to put a comment in the chat, give me a shout out. I can give you a one as well. I would love to. But and then even also my answers today are going to be time delayed because of the broadcast transfer. All right. So Stream Dog, though, it's a great app. If you don't have it, we've got less than 3 minutes before our message starts today. But try that technology because especially old school people, we have to remind ourselves we have to learn the technology. Sometimes we'll hear older people get a little bit upset or peeved with our younger people about their use of technology. If you actually learn more about the technology, you will find that you will understand better why they seem so addicted to technology, but you'll also have something in common. See, I can talk somebody out of technology. We've got less than 2 minutes for our message today, but here's the way I look at it. So even whoever just gave me that thumbs up I can't see who you are unless you put your name in the chat, but thank you for the thumbs up. But here's what I'm saying. For instance, when I'm speaking, whether it's a military audience or especially if it's a young audience, teenagers, so many people will say, well, Sporty, man, you know what, and not just to me, PS, by the way, but man, it's so rude for people to be on their smartphones when you're talking and this and that. I don't see it that way. I always say to them, I say, look, the way I approach it, first of all, if I see someone on their cell phone while I'm talking, I believe that they're on their cell phone saying, man, this guy is knocking it out of the park. Too bad you're not here. I'm thinking that's what they're thumbing to their friends. We got less than a minute for today's message, but that's what I believe that they're thumbing because that's the confidence I have in delivering from the stage. See, I think that is a part of it. You should have a confidence on stage that says you should listen to me. And then the confidence must also say in parentheses, if you don't, that's fine. Someone who I'm supposed to be here delivering to, I need to deliver my message with a confidence and a power that helps empower them to receive the message and go beyond the person who doesn't seem to want to accept the message or pay attention. That's what you have to be there for. So that's what I have to be there for. And that's the way I look at it. I also look at the fact that, hey, yes, it's 1 o'clock. We're going to start our message, but let me continue this thought. And that is, yes, if people are on their cell phones, if that's the way things are today, oh man, they're on their cell phone while you're speaking. How about they're taking notes? Forget about me with my arrogant, confident attitude about their typing, he's knocked it out of the park. How about this, oh, wow, that's a good thing. And so, one of the apps is called Notes, Notebook or Notepad or whatever it is. So maybe instead of writing it down, they're actually listening to you and taking notes. Do not surrender your power as the speaker or the presenter. Do not surrender your power to an exterior stimuli that you cannot control and you have no idea what it is. You do not know why they're on their cell phone. Why would you instantly decide that they're not paying attention to you? Don't we pay attention with our ear? Don't we listen with our ears? So can I be typing something while at the same time listening to what you're saying? You know, isn't that what court stenographers do? Think about it. Hey, see, there's my shout out from Vic. What's going on, Vic? And so, so again, let's not be so quick because it becomes part of our judgment. Let's not be so quick to judge or decide that someone's not paying attention because they seem to be on their cell phone. When I'm speaking, I totally believe that you're listening. Now, P.S. By the way, let me say this to you, if as long as you're going to go by that, is if you're speaking and you see someone on their cell phone, well, how about you say something that makes them stop and look up from their cell phone? Hey, Elise, what's going on, Alyssa? Alyssa, I'm sorry, never did get your name. I got to get your name pronounced right. Oh my God, because I see your name and I always say Elise, and now I'm but that's one of my speaker friends. Make sure you click on her name and check out her site. She's got, especially Roger Carroll, you just jumped on, but she's got something called Mompreneur. So a lot of good tips for moms, who are entrepreneurs, but doesn't everything transfer? So the same way you can look at a mompreneur, you can look at a dadpreneur, because an entrepreneur is an entrepreneur. So, and then also what entrepreneurs do is they take what's been established and they fit it to who they are. So you can look at what someone who is a mompreneur is doing and say, hey, you know what? I see how that might apply to teenagers. Okay. So that's what it's all about. So thank you for always sharing your gift, Alyssa. And what's going on, Roger Carroll? And saying hello to the family. Yeah, because that's what we are. It's so good to know that we are family. Let's get the Sister Sledge in here today. Okay. But hey, let's get rolling. In case this is your first time, shock, surprise, gasp. Welcome to Glue Wednesday. And my Glue Wednesday, I'm Sporty King, if you didn't know that. But if you did know it now, you got a double prize for knowing it. But Glue Wednesday is about the fact that so often people say Wednesday is hump day, which is an old time, speaking about old school people, of Wednesday being the middle of a 5-day work week. And they say hump day, we're getting over the hump. But I say, not everybody works Monday to Friday. So suppose somebody works a 7-day week, and a 7-day week is Wednesday is the actual middle of a traditional 7-day week, regardless of where you work. So to me, Wednesday is the glue. It's the day that keeps the week beginning and the week end together. And as we bring that glue together, we see ourselves in a prayerful mode. And I like to go to my spirituality. So therefore, I say that the glue is GLUE, God's love undoes everything. Not that it tears things apart, but that whatever you're going through, God will take that and put it together for you. And don't we need that? And won't we touch on that in today's discussion, depending on what you say? Because this is our interactive group. I have stuff prepared to say, but I definitely want to talk a little bit about, what you have to say as well. And we'll keep ourselves on topic. But remember, hump day means we need to get over. Glue day means we need to keep it together. And right now, we need to keep it together. We don't need to hump. We need to keep it together. So let me give a couple of more shout outs because I see. Thank you, Alyssa. Yes, I am. I'm going to definitely click that because yes, I am awesome. But I'm awesome. Why? Because I serve a mighty God. See, so often we allow people to transfer and mash down our message, but then we are happy to say, I'm a child of God. If I'm a child of God and if God is number one, why can't I proclaim myself as being awesome? I'm related to awesomeness. So why do I not want to say that I have that legacy and I will move it on? How I use my awesomeness is what will now put me into a next category. Am I being awesomely selfish? And, am I being awesomely ignorant? No, I'm being awesomely blessed by the Most High God. So I'm happy to proclaim that I am awesome and I'm good with that. What's going on, fam? All right, Pat, thank you because it means something to me that you hear, Miss Hazel Eyes. I love you, fam, going way back. And I'm going to go all the way down to Alyssa's Amen, A-M-E-N, a message everyone needs. You need to know how important you are, but you cannot base that on someone else's opinion. We're seeing that even right now as we go through our political process. I worked the polls yesterday, so I wasn't on social media much. And working the polls is volunteer. I had a woman come, and I was on the desk where you update people's information. And she came to my desk and she was upset because we said to her, okay, you're in the wrong precinct. You're in your old precinct. You moved. So we want you to go to your other precinct where you can vote and guarantee that your vote is counted. You can vote here in your old precinct, but it'll be a paper ballot. If you go to your precinct, you vote on the computer, which guarantees that your vote goes in and gets counted. She didn't like that. Well, no. Oh, see, this is voter fraud. How could you be? I'm not going to let you do what happened to me in Florida. And I'm looking at her. I said, Miss, I vote here every year. I said, Miss, but you moved. It's really that simple, y'all. You move. If you live in Florida and you move to North Carolina, guess what? You can no longer vote in Florida. Your vote counts in North Carolina. If you move from one house to another house, how would you feel about your landlord sending you a bill for this month's rent? Then you don't live there any longer. Well, no, you've always paid me rent, so I think you owe me rent again. You say, no, I moved. And really, it was really that simple. But she huffed out there. And I just, and that's why I said I gave a message of calm today on my post on Facebook, just to remind us this is a time for us to be calm. Because even if you mispronounce calm, you get the outcome. See, the outcome could be the outcome. How can we get the outcome we need? We get it by being calm and think and doing what we need to do. And there you go. Thank you, Vera. Yeah, we need to focus. And for me, focus is FOCUS. Finding ourselves creates unlimited success. Focus on you and let other people come into focus. So calm is about being focused. And you focus on the things that you can control. Otherwise, what you do is you invite negative stress into your life. Notice I stress negative stress because stress itself is not negative. You have positive stress when you're studying for a test, when you're exercising to build your muscles up. All of that is stress. That's positive stress that you're using to attain a goal and achieve it. So we have to focus on the positive because what you focus on, you ferment. So there's a lot of different ways we can say that we need focus. So thank you very much. Hey, man. All right. Okay. So let's see what we got. Yeah. Be calm. I'm going to throw that up there one time. Be calm. What you got there, Roger Carroll? I was an election judge. Yeah. And we had some folks who lived 10 miles from who thought they should vote there. And, so, and Roger Carroll, did you have this situation? Because I even said to the woman, I said, Miss, I said, I'm a volunteer. All of us are volunteers. I cannot change the system of what has to happen today. I said, I'm with you. I said, but I can't change this system. But that's why I volunteered to work the poll so that I could see the inside of the system and I could see that it's fair. And so, and please, come on, a simple thing, ladies and gentlemen, you moved. Your impact on this community is may not, and I have to say may not, and you'll see why as we discuss our words today, it may no longer be valid. Once you left, what did you leave behind? Did you leave behind a legacy? Did you leave behind something that we need to continue to pay attention to? Or did you leave and move on to take your impact somewhere else? Guess who's got to answer that question? You. But more importantly, you got to ask it because there's no question that can get answered that is not asked. And the most important question we have to ask goes back to just what Roger Carroll said, focusing. You have to ask yourself questions of yourself because when you ask yourself a question of yourself, you know all the motivation behind that question. Who better to come up with the proper answer? You know what they say, there's three sides to every story, right? Mine, yours, and the truth. When you ask yourself a question, you know all three of the sides to that story. Who better to answer it? So please ask yourself a question and then give yourself the best answer. And would you say, Alyssa, it makes sense? God, that's all it needs. You know what? Just like I said, what did I say? Out calm. I got another one for calm, and that's instead of common sense, I say come on sense. Because yeah, something can make sense, and a lot of times people say common sense is not common, but I also say come on sense, because don't sometimes you just want to say, come on, you didn't know that. So I call it come on sense, because it is a question that you need to say, come on, didn't you know that? But at the same time, you want to say, come on sense, make sense to me. Come on, let me be blessed with knowledge. I got that on my wall because from Second Chronicles 1:10, what Solomon asked of God, he said, give me wisdom and knowledge to rule them properly, for who is able to govern this great nation of yours? Solomon said, give me common sense. Come on, sense. God, bless me with knowledge so that I can rule properly. And that's what we need, to calm ourselves down and get the information we need so that we can move forward. I always tell you, choose your messengers carefully and recognize that you are carefully being chosen as a messenger. So if your message is faulty because your source is faulty, then you will now have a problem with God. See, God ain't got a problem with you. You're going to have a problem with God, because now that you're leading somebody down the wrong path based on your misinformation, you're messing up the legacy. You're messing it up. So I'm going to put those okays on there, because we need to have them okay. But you got to have the perfect energy as always. Yes, thank you, Alyssa. God, and that's a consistency. Let me tell you what else is on my sign. See, now Alyssa's all in my room, y'all. Because I see those, how people do vision boards. I don't do vision boards, but I put up stuff. I like the idea. I just have never sat down and done one. I did it and I wasn't able to stick to it. But I will do, parts on the vision board and put up signs to keep myself going. And so I've got this in 5 places in my house. So I've got the top one that talks about Solomon, but then my bottom one shows an audience. It shows a theater. And I've written in there, I will have virtual audiences. I will fill these seats. I will have the same energy, and I will reach myself. So those are the affirmations that I put into my audiences, because now in my speaking career, I'm going to have virtual audiences. See, again, when you think about focus on what you can control, I have no control over a lot of people. Oh man, we stuck in the house now. You got to present virtually. That's not a question. That is a fact. So what are you doing so that you can be that type of a presenter to deliver the message? Because the message still needs to be delivered. So how can you deliver the message if you're focusing on what you cannot do instead of getting, tuned in to what you can do? Because your audience is someone who may be focusing on what they cannot do. They don't need you to feed what they cannot do. They need you to feed what they can do. Because they're coming to you, Sporty, I can't do this. And I say, okay, get calm. Here's how I think you can do it. Isn't that what you're coming for? So, yeah, I will have virtual audiences. I acknowledge that. See? So now I got that out of the way. That's no longer a problem for me. I'm going to have virtual audiences. So now I go to what's next. I will fill these seats. See, I'm going to see my virtual audience, but I'm going to fill those seats as the virtual audience, but I'm also going to see myself filling them as live audiences. And then I say, I'm going to have the same energy. I'm not going to say, well, look, we're on virtual, so I really can't get the same. No, I'm going to give it to you, whether I'm sitting down or standing up, whether I'm on camera or on your stage, because my message is what's important. You have to, if you've got the right message, your energy should not sink. So, there's a lot of things I need to do. I need to do a class. I'm going to do a session on speaking, because that's just a whole nother topic. But this is relevant to what we're talking about today. My energy does not sink based on the medium. Okay, because who I am and what my message is, it's what's important. And it's not a fake energy. It's not, because it's not a fake message. I believe in what I'm talking about. One of my I caught one of my little brothers, but as a kid that he's a grown man now. I coached him in basketball and community basketball. And look on my feed, he interviewed me last week on his live broadcast. His name is Dan Cyprian, Sip Ministries, because he became a youth pastor. And he entitled our session based on talking to me, something he's heard me say, that I don't practice what I preach what I practice. And so he let the interview be entitled that. And I love him for it. But then the last thing is, and here goes back to Roger Carroll, I will reach myself. Ladies and gentlemen, when you speak, I believe that it's so important to reach yourself. And there you go, Roger, a speaking class. Yeah, let me give you the speaking tip right now, because people often say, oh, if I can reach one person, and then they go out and do what? They try to reach everybody. In the process of trying to reach everyone, you will reach no one, because there are too many communication styles in this world. And so therefore in your audience for you to reach everybody. And there's too much going on in people's life. Roger Carroll, what did you say? Focus. There's too much going on in people's lives for you to be able to reach them. Let's go right to present day, right? Today, we've got many people up in arms about what's going on in the election and counting the ballots. Okay. So imagine you're at a seminar. Right now, you're on Facebook Live, so you're at my seminar. But imagine you're at a seminar that was already on the books about something that you have to learn, but because of how you feel about the election, your mind is still counting ballots. Let's make you that woman that stormed out of my precinct. You know that this isn't being done right. So she's now at a seminar somewhere, and they say, you know what? It's important to make sure that things are done right. And boom, her mind, yeah, they didn't do me right last. And see, her mind is gone. And that's not a knock against her. What I'm saying is your speaker can say something that takes you away from your involvement, engagement in the moment with that speaker. So imagine if you're the speaker, you say something and that person leaves based on what you're saying. Why would you say that I'm ineffective as a speaker? Why would you let that take your energy down? You have to now, or what do you, oh, they look like I've lost them. Let me change what I'm saying. Nope. You have to still do what you say. You still have to preach what you practice. And so therefore, I have to make sure when I speak, especially now that this is being taped, guess what? I'm speaking what I know God has put into me. So therefore, I have to walk off this stage, off this broadcast. When this ends, I have to say, did I deliver my truth? Did I say what Sporty believes? Especially, again, now it's recorded. Somebody else is going to say, well, Sporty, you said this. I have to be willing, and I'm not going to do the fake news things. I don't say stuff that I don't believe in. And I'm not afraid to say what I believe in. Because see, I'll lose with me every time. I won't lose being someone else, but I never mind losing being me. Why? Because I'm not a loser. I'm Sporty King. I never see myself as a loser. All I can do is not win a prize that someone else was ordained to win, because God has put me in the place where he wants me to be. A lot of us say that, oh, well, God wouldn't put me where he didn't want me. Well, how come you don't believe that? It's true. Okay. I have actually not lost the topic today, y'all. Wait till y'all see when I wrap this thing up. But that's why I say reach yourself. When you speak, reach yourself. Hear yourself, because you're going to say something that you didn't expect to say. You got your notes, but you're going to say something that's not on your notes. And that's God saying, okay, change this message. Say this a different way. So you have to be willing to hear those things. And when you hear them, you say, I just brought that the way it needed to be delivered. And so now you walk off saying, I delivered the truth. Whoever that truth was for will get that message today. What does the altar call say? Is there one? They say, who was this message for today? And don't you even say that to me. You were talking to me. See, so you're not going to reach everyone. Reach who God has sent you to reach. And guess what? He sent you to reach you. He sent you to reach you. You need to make sure that you are delivering what he has sent you, and then you're going to hear it. It's a good session. Yay. What's up, Rogina? Yep. Yeah, it was a good session. You got to keep making sure that you're making a difference. Let me go slow because remember, we got the tape delay. I want to keep on with what people say. I learned from you to make myself satisfied with my message. First, thank you, Roger Carroll. Yeah. And I love because we had grown folks. I learned from you, but what does that say? It's really saying you refreshed, you reminded me, because this lesson that Roger Carroll is talking about, we go way back when we had a chance that when I gave her my first little tip, and based on the fact that we were in the same arena, and I saw and I loved what she did, and I said, Roger Carroll, you did this, but wow. Here's something else you could have done, and because we would, and we just, it just clicked. So, if you look at my Monday morning moment message, what does it say? Opposites don't attract, like attracts like. And so we were two iron sharpening iron. And so that was the beauty. Thank you, Roger Carroll. Glad that I was able to do that. Rogina, and I mispronounced the name because I love my little sister Regina, but Rogina, your positive roots are as deep as the strongest oak tree. Man, you have always walked in truth, love, and honesty. Amen. I like that saying too. Your positive roots are as deep as the strongest oak tree. And you know what it makes me think of? It makes me think of how Jesus told the farmers, throw the seed. He has never said to you, aim the seed. He said, throw the seed. And if you know that parable, it's where he talks about, and he gives 4 options. He says that he told the farmers to throw the seeds, and he guaranteed that some will land on hard ground and not take root. Some will land on in thorny bushes and cut when they start to rise. Some will land on shallow ground and start to take root, but then the heat will knock them out. And then he gives option number 4 is the blessing. Some will land on fertile ground and bring forth a harvest. That's what I like what you just said, Rogina. Your positive roots are as deep as the strongest oak tree. Once you recognize, go for option number 4. Once you recognize that your message will take root, if it's a positive message, and how deep it goes depends on how committed you are to delivering it. So if you only, if you want, I gotta aim it. See, if you're aiming it, it's not going to hit the right place. Seeds can't be aimed, because if you say, well, I got to keep, planting right here because this is where it grows. No, that ground may be, that's why you always hear the things about the 7-year famines and all that stuff. See, ground needs time to reheal. After harvest, and I don't know the horticulture part of it, but after harvest, certain ground needs a rest, okay? So, Regina, keep with you. It's so true that people throw me off with their words and energy. Yeah, and it's because the people throw you off, and not always on purpose, P.S., by the way. Sometimes people throw you off with their words and energy, and the reason I hurry up to say not on purpose, because I always want to remind us that what we don't want to do is get caught up in blaming people, because you don't know whether their intent was purposeful or accidental. Because they have, Satan, for instance, has no power over you. And therefore, likewise, neither do people. It's your interpretation. I think it was Booker T. Washington, and I may be wrong, but somebody said I was never a slave because I never thought like a slave. Roger Carroll, you're my historian on Black America. Get it in there for me. Let me know. But you can see the premise behind that. I was never a slave because I never thought like a slave. So therefore, you can't throw me off. I remember saying to one of my senior citizens, I said, because he said, oh, I was going to say this when he talked to me after class. I was going to say this. I said, well, why didn't you say? He said, I didn't want to steal your thunder. And I looked at him. I said, you can't steal my thunder. You can only add to my blessing. And I had never said that before, y'all. But yeah, you can't steal my thunder. When I came to deliver, I'm going to deliver. I don't care who else is in the room. That's also why in my speech competitions with Toastmaster, I have never been dissatisfied with where I end up in the standings. I've had so many people, oh, you didn't take first after you take. Believe me, I'm not about taking first. I am first. And so even when I didn't take first, which some people have decided the championship is all there is, I would say I won second. I won third, because I did not lose. I don't lose. I'm Sporty King, and neither do you. And even thank God. I mean, hey, I've been blessed with a last name King because God is my King. But you're related to me. All of us. We are children of God. We are children of the King. We don't lose. All we do is take detours. And when we take a detour, we end up going down another hall that's going to give us different options. Staying with me? I know you are. Thank you and bless you. Let's see what else we got. You have always been a straight shooter. Yeah, and that has got me in trouble too. And I don't care because I'm straight shooting. Why? Because I know my source. Amen. And that's right. You'll always be my Gina. Thank you. I'm gonna go down to everybody. I have known you almost my entire life. Isn't that something? This is my little sister, y'all. This is one of my little sisters through spirit. And so, yeah, she's known me almost her entire life because I met her when she was a little girl. Through her mother that called, and it's funny because her mother is older than me, but she calls me big brother. Give you a shout out, Barbara, and I call her little sister. But me and Barbara we were just such great spiritual siblings, and so her children. Give me a full shout out, Regina, Tasha, and then the grands. And that's my girl too. She gonna kill me. Let her kill me later. All right, but anyway, thank you, and bless you. Move on. I'll be healing. I'm re-healing right now. And yeah, that's great. We always have to keep re-heal. And remember this statement too, because again, we haven't even touched on what I prepared for you, but I'm gonna zip through that to show you that we have done nothing but touched on what I prepared for you. That's what God does. What'd you say, Vic? We can all pray together as one for this world. Amen. And thanks for stretching that out because it is not just about our nation. It's about our world. I believe that life is about going from one puzzle to the next. And so everything we do touches and impacts someone else. So yeah, even as we talk about our nation, we are really talking about our place in the world. And when we think about how America has been number one in the world, even though you've got people maybe in somewhere else acting like they think we're number one, but they say it on film, but they don't mean it. They want to replace us. And you need to think about that too. Sometimes someone will give you accolades to disarm you. It goes back to what you said, Regina, about people throw you off with their words. See, they'll butter you up. They butter you up with their accolades because they want to disarm you and let your guard down. And I'm not saying be a pessimist, but recognize that you have to be careful of who pats you on the back. Haven't we all done that little joke on somebody where we pat them on the back and we stick a sign on their back that says "kick me" or something like that? All right. So thank you, Vic. Let's heal the world. Regina, how do you re-energize yourself when you give too much? I think first by taking out the two. Okay. I don't think you can give too much. You can give much because God has given you what he wants you to deliver. If you had more to give than what God gave you, see, can't end that sentence. You can't give more than what God has given you. So God, what do they say? To whom much is given, much is required. See, so much is really all you get. So now what you have to do is think about it. Now goes back to what I say, choose your messengers carefully. Who do you choose to give that to? So what you have given that person and they have disappointed you, where we'll hear somebody say, well, I hate that person. What's hate? H-A-T-E, hurt attached to expectations. We have an expectation of how we want that person to respond to what we're giving. And so they don't respond that way. Why? Two reasons. One, we can't control how someone else receives. And therefore, two, we have an expectation of what that response should look like. which we can also look at what prayer is all about. I say pray and get out of the way. Once you pray, you can't determine what the prayer answered is going to look like. But don't you know that God answers prayer? So how do you re-energize now that we've taken 2 out, how do you re-energize after you've given much? Get your next box of much, and recognize that person, you have delivered what God wanted you to deliver to that person. Now you have a new definition and expectation of that person. And don't now boil that over to the next person. That person can receive X amount. And have you given it? Did you give it in earnest? Okay, well, now let it go. See, so that's what I believe. You have. Oh, I wish I knew what you were laughing at. Because I wasn't looking when you typed the LOL, and it's on a tape delay anyway. But yeah, I bet that was on hurt attached expectation. That's probably in there somewhere. You become exhausted. Well, you know why? Because we all need rest. We all need rest. Bam, that's in that message today when we wrap it up. So it's okay to be exhausted. Think about that. Yeah, why are we upset with ourselves when we are out of energy? I always say, if I did everything I wanted to do, I would not be able to move. So I'm happy when I'm tired, because that means I'm doing stuff that's on my list. And I don't have a bucket list. I have a live it list. So if I'm tired, it's because I'm getting stuff done. So you should be exhausted. You need to be exhausted, okay? Yes, God gives you what you need. Yes, and it's always true. But we'll say it online, and even like I'll say to my group sometime when I'm speaking, we'll sit here and because we're talking about handling stress and communication, and we come up with a nice way of doing it, talking about it amongst ourselves at our tables. But then once we walk out of the session, we get back to saying, screw you, and blah, blah, and being nasty to people. But we get in the mode. I'm in the session right now, and I need to talk about how to be an effective communicator. I need to talk about forgiving people and being God-like, because we're in the session right now and people are listening to what I'm saying. Don't do it. Don't do it. Listen to what you're saying. You listen. And now once you get out, administer it. And if you find that you can, the next time you get a chance to talk about it, don't say that this is how people should act, because that's not how you act. Don't practice what you preach. Preach what you practice. People take so much, no, you know what? People take what you give them. Don't you? People take what you give them. If you don't like the way somebody treats you, stop treating them. Stop letting them treat you that way. Because people that they're supposed to take they're supposed to take so much. Then we just talk about to whom much is given. So God has given you much. Well, guess what? People will take what he's given you because you gave it to them. So don't blame people. Nope. Let it go. That's that's what it is. I'm happy when I'm tired. Good. All right. Stay tired. All right. Right. Whatever. And peace to you all. Yeah, Vic. Peace. PEAC, placing eternity above chaos and evil. See, recognize that this nonsense that's going on right now in our human flesh, our eternity, we all want to go to heaven, right? So place that blessing above the nonsense that you're going. I'm going to heaven, so I can deal. There's my calm. I can deal with this because this is nothing compared to what's going to the blessing that God has got for me. Check this out. I'm going to run y'all real quickly through what I had prepared and show you that we were right on target. Because that's what we do, okay? But here we go. I was quickly going to say we're in our BER month, because remember I told you the BER month, Septem, Octo, Novem, and Decem, BER. So they're the BER months. And guess what? November 1st, is actually National Literacy Day. I always want to give us a literacy lesson. This National Literacy Day. And you'll see how this all wraps in. Okay. According to statistics, nearly 20 to 27 million adults in the American workforce in 1994, y'all. So it's gone up. Lacked basic writing, reading, and math skills necessary to perform a complex job. It goes on to say, so therefore, Congress designated in 1994 that November 1st to be celebrated as National Family Literacy Day every year. I didn't know that. But yeah, Congress actually designated National Family Literacy Day was first celebrated to showcase the family literacy programs, build awareness, and ensure the learning process to pass over generations. Haven't we been talking about this? That when Regina talked about the roots, National Family Literacy Day is celebrated to realize the benefits of reading and writing. See, fake news is fake if you allow yourself to believe what you read instead of checking it yourself. It provides an opportunity for families to gather for reading. So this is saying that families should get together and read together. But it's also about getting the right information. We're doing that right now, but we need to do more, and we need to do more straight up reading. Okay. In the present day technological advances, people tend to avoid reading and writing and spend more time with their laptops and mobiles. Didn't we talk about that as you're speaking and your people are on their phones? Also, we spend more time on social media rather than with family and books. Well, then Roger Carroll and Vic, you know what I'm saying? Hey, family. So we're spending some time with family here right now, okay? But again, these are some statistical facts and reasons why they did that. The current generation hardly knows the joy of reading and the way our creative and imaginative skills widen through readings. Even I challenge that because I think when you look at how many kids, write poetry and stuff, I think they get it. I've got some real good young people that I deal with who are beautiful poets. Celebrating National Literacy Day will bring families together and help realize the joy of reading and gain real knowledge to be successful in life. And it's National Family Reading Day. Reading habits not only benefits children, but also adults. Reading increases knowledge, improves vocabulary and imagination skills, and keeps the children well informed. In adults, reading builds confidence, keeps them aware of world happenings, and updated. How about that, y'all? So here's the site that you can go to get some facts on National Family Literacy Day, which is November 1st of every year. But celebrate it throughout the month and then throughout the year. We need to get some literacy. I used to always tell people that it's also important to sometimes read aloud. When I do my meditation, I read my Bible every now and then. Read aloud because, see, when we read, we hear ourselves. But haven't you heard somebody read aloud and they seem to get caught up because it's not that they can't read, they're not used to reading aloud. So every now and then you need to read aloud so you make sure you get the words. What you say, Regina? I push books into my children like oxygen. And she got some smart kids too, all right? Kiera, there's my girl. Tasha's daughter, Kiera, and I love her to death. Okay, that's who I left out. We have a book nook and speak to my adult children about books often. Yes, you have to do it. And not forcing it on them, but showing them a good option. And I think that's important. And so check out what I have prepared and we talked about as you have your flashback. Now, see, I talked about what are we doing now? Because people are calling it the new normal. I call it the now normal. What we're doing now is going to make a difference in talking about those roots that Regina talked about, and talking about the focus that Roger Carroll mentioned, and talking about the blessings that Alyssa put down. And I thank her for the names that she put into the chat, into the thread. What she was doing was tagging people to say, come on and listen. And that's sharing. See, all that is about now. See, she's using technology. That's why I even say go to her site and get some new information. What are you doing now? Because isn't our question for the month is, what will you do? Not just what are you doing, but what will you do to get through this situation? Not just the political situation, the situation called life, not just the pandemic, the situation called life. What are you going to do to get through? And it starts with what you're doing now. Okay. What you say, I started working in a library at 16. Wow. And my local public library is my alternate therapy. Wait, you know what? And you know me, I have to be semi-ignorant. Let me tell you something I love about libraries. When I moved to Charlotte in 2010, in 2011, I couldn't pay my electricity bill and my electricity got cut off because I was working my budget. I used to go to the library every day. Now check out, because it was March. Now, if that was in Chicago, I would have been in trouble. But ladies and gentlemen, I had just gotten to the point where I didn't want to borrow any money or have my family pay my bills. I said no, and I had a check coming. It's just that it was coming late. I said no, I'm going to hang in there and wait for that money because I have to. This is my vision. Would say, Alyssa, mompreneurs, I'm an entrepreneur. This is my vision and my dream to be an entrepreneur. And so therefore, right now, I need to go through what I need to go through to strengthen my message. So I have I gained a new advocacy for libraries because that's where I spent my days. And I was like, man, they closed libraries too soon. Because when the library closed, I had to go home to my cold apartment. So thank you, Roger Carroll. I am not mad at you, and bless you for being a librarian. Thank you, Victoria. All right. Oh, okay. I don't know who Victoria is, but I'm glad that shout out, whatever happened. All right. Unless you mistyped and that was supposed to be Victor. Okay. Reflected on the question 2 days ago. Great. And if you need more, then I can give that to you. But I meant to hear this. Yes, you were meant. See, now again, goes back to what we said about the energy on stage and the altar call, right? Is there one? So imagine if I was, not trying to, if I wasn't being honest and reaching myself with delivering the message that I was sent to deliver. So now when you logged on, Regina, even though you logged on because God said, Regina, log on because you need to hear this message, and then I don't deliver it. See, and the blessing is that you're telling me that I delivered it. When you deliver your message, ladies and gentlemen, who you reach may not ever be able to tell you that you reached them. Because even, again, back to Regina's analogy about the roots, her children, how she treats her children has something to do with how I treated her. Not everything, but there are things I did with her as my little sister, as my niece, that she has, because I have also helped raise her kids. And it's funny because because I moved when they were younger, they really knew me, but it's been years since I've seen them now, but it helped. And so therefore, once you help one person, you help their generation and their offspring and their family and their extended family. That's why you have to make sure that you deliver yourself. Oh, it was for Victor. I'm going to put that up there for Victor. But, but Victoria is just Spanish for victory. So Vic is okay with that. I got you, Vic. I got you. Speaking big, bro, I love you, bro. Okay, and so quickly check this out. So what are you doing now? Remember, it's the now normal. Now, what we're doing in our lives today. What will you keep? What traditions have you developed during this pandemic that you will continue to use? What new paths in your life have you had to take that now you will continue to take them? Are you going to take them with disgust? Damn, now I have to do that. Or are you going to take them with cheer? God has allowed me to see this happen, and now he's given me another option. Okay, so what are you going to do now? And then never. I said never should be one of our end words. Why? Because I believe that the extremes in our lives may not be sustainable because they only need one occurrence. Always and never go away as soon as one person breaks that mold. So again, that's why I give Alyssa another shout out about momtrepreneurs and entrepreneurs. Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you're looking to do something that breaks the mold of how things have been done. So now never goes away because, no, that will never happen. Bam, I just made it happen. Oh, this will always be this way. Bam, it just didn't happen. Those are the extremes. Be careful in your life about extremes. Notice that even in my description, I said they may not be sustainable. In other words, they may be in place right now because it's never happened. I was blessed to have one of my soldiers fact check me on his computer, on his iPhone while I was speaking. I got caught up in what I was saying, y'all. And I said, there has never been a team or sports figure that has gone undefeated. I was telling them how, you have to always be ready to, be a leader and things. And I said, there has never been that. And boom, he said, Floyd Mayweather has never been defeated. And I was like, dang, I'm glad he fact checked me because I had actually never said that before. While I was speaking, I have always stayed away, I've always stayed away from the extremes, but I can't say that anymore because I I said it, and he caught me on it. I didn't. He doesn't know how much I thanked him because it would have seemed phony. But I did thank him, and I will always remember to not get that caught up and get caught up in those extremes because yeah, never and always get knocked out by one occurrence. And the last word I was going to use was um, was nutrition. You know why? Because I think you need to take care of your PMS. And that's your physical, mental, and spiritual health. Gotcha. So not necessarily nutrition and what you eat, because I'm not the one to talk about nutrition. Yeah, no, but I am the one to talk about get together, go back to Roger Carroll, focus. I am the one to talk about taking care of you. Focus on you and let other people come into focus. Take care of your physical, mental, and spiritual health so that you can help the people that you have been sent here so that you can give them the much, Regina, the much that God has given you to give. Because what a blessing to be able to deliver much. How about the people who can deliver little? And even when they deliver little, they deliver much. Didn't who was it Paul? It was one of the disciples. They were going into the church and somebody was out begging, or rather a woman put the money in the offering thing. And he said, that woman will be blessed more than everybody else because they gave what they could. They gave some extra money out of what they had, their excess, but she gave all she had. So she was only able to give little, but she gave much. Start to see yourself as that woman, as that person who gives much, not too much. You give much because God has given it to you to deliver. Teach your children about adult life skills and make sure that they're their adults, not the old school values, but the new school values. Because what's going to be going on in their life that's going to make that difference? You can laugh at the orange head alien now. Thank you. You see that shirt. Okay. It's time. Yeah, it's time to laugh. And again, and no matter what you call him or whoever you call, come on. This is America. This is what we're about. Freedom of speech. So let's have jokes and let's laugh and then hang in there. You know, hang in there. And it doesn't make you un-American. But hang in there, okay? And Glenn, and I'm loving that yes for whenever it came, because yes is just one of my favorite words. But I also say yes, Y-E-S. You experience stuff. See, that's what I'm saying. When something happens, yes, I experience stuff. Why? Because I'm God's child. And so you're going to experience stuff. And so I just want you to hang in there now. Hang in there. All right. And yeah, Roger Carroll, yeah, we get our shout outs, people that know one another as well. There's the family, y'all. I listen to New School. Okay, good. Yeah. But yeah, make sure that it's funny. I put on somebody's post today. I put, how did I put that? I put one area that America has always been diverse in is who votes for whom. Okay, I hope I said that the way I wrote because it was on an Instagram. But think about it. You can't decide who's on your side based on what they look at. That's why I got to tell you, when I did my post, I posted, I voted for Biden. I posted, today I'm campaigning for Biden Harris. I did, and I always put my affiliation. A lot of people put, and when I put, it's important to vote. This is an important vote, election of the year. Please vote for Biden. I always put that. Where some people put, this is the most important election of the year, but they didn't say who they were supporting. And I'm not saying that that's a slap on your wrist, but some did that to make you think that you were they were on your side when they weren't. Goes back to what Regina said. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. Everything that we said was always prepared. Goes back to what Regina said. Some people catch her in their words. And that happens to us. We decide, oh, they're on my side because they said this is one of the most important elections in the world. Oh, good. Yeah, they look like me. They're saying the same thing I say. No. Communication, you can need full sentences. I need a full thought. I need to know where you stand. And I'm okay with where I stand. What did Regina say? I shoot straight. Yeah, because I don't mind you knowing where I stand. I'm not threatened by you knowing what I believe in. I am willing to believe in what I believe in and share what you believe in and not have a problem with it. I'm not against you because you're a Trump supporter. If you're a friend of mine and you've chosen to go that way, to me, it's the same as us not liking the same sports team. We'll talk crap about our teams and then that's it. But we know a spot where we can agree to disagree. So come on, y'all. This is what America is about. This is what we got to be about. What did Vic say? It's about the world. We've got to, we're feeding into the disharmony by saying, okay, if you're a friend of, all of my friends who voted for Trump, unfriend me. Why? What? Wait, is that what you were waiting for to cut this person loose? Come on, y'all. This is, you've got so many unpopular decisions and situations that you've had to come into your life. You can't let this throw you off your game. You got to be stronger than that, y'all. We got to be stronger than that. I pray that Donald Trump does not continue his presidency. I earnestly pray that I want Biden and Harris because I think it allows because we know that there's the divide in our country, in our nation right now. We know it. So now we need someone who says, hey, there's a divide. Let's see if we can work it out. Trump is not going to say that. He's going to say there's a divide. Good. Now, those of you who voted for me, come on, let's go on and take what we got. That's what I believe. And that's based on my beliefs. Doesn't have to be your belief. And I'm okay that you don't agree with me. Okay? And that's what you have to take. The last thing I want to say on you, Rogina, that's what I'm saying about the Re-Energize. You don't have to, it's okay when people don't agree with you. What's wrong with that? Nothing. That's the beauty, is that they don't agree with you. That's the beauty. I love it. So what's up, Warren Sally? Man, this is a good brother in my life who helped me get on broadcast and using some of this technology when we used to do my piece of the puzzle. And so I thank you. And then, Regina, I'm going to give you the final comment, because with time, I know you'll laugh. And it's not silly, but seriously, when you say something and laugh. Right, because I laugh, I crack up because I'm like, yo, I'm dead serious, and that's why I laugh. What was it? I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. Keep your eyes on my eyes on the sparrow, and I know he's watching me. So it's the same as I laugh because I'm happy. I laugh because I'm free. I don't care what you think about me. I just made that song up, y'all. Put the lyrics down. I laugh because I'm happy. I laugh because I'm free. I laugh because I'm sporty. And I don't care what you think about me. And so often, there's another thing I want to make a point of, because a lot of times we'll see someone say, well, I don't care what somebody says about me. And then they look around to see what people have to say about them. No, when I say I don't care what you think about me, I'm done. I'm not looking around to see if that was okay with what you were you okay with me just saying that? That means that you do care about what they say about you. Nah, I'm worried. Okay, I wrote a letter to President-elect Biden. Great. I got a letter on my wall. That see this letter right here. Let me see if this letter right here is from Michelle Obama. I had written a letter to Barack and Michelle, and when they won the presidency, and I'm gonna do that long story. I think I'll do that next week. No, I'm gonna do that Friday. My Friday broadcast, y'all, is called Gift Friday. I'm going to do that message on Friday and tell you about my relationship with the Obamas. Let me get all my laughs up there. Dead serious. You know I am. And get those laughs. Yep. Have a safe day, everybody. Vic's got to go and laugh because it's good for us. It's a stress releaser. That's why when Glenn put yes, and I said, you experience stuff, and I talked about stress, you need, laughter is an important thing for you to do to release the stress that's in your life. So let's get our laughs out, y'all. Let's get back here on Friday. This is our interactive day. So join me on Wednesdays when you want to get those comments in and have this great conversation that we just had. And then on Friday, I do Gift Friday because God is for today, where I'll read one of my original poems and then give you a link that you can go on and gift yourself with that poem. You can still go to my page right now on my site, sportyking.com, and go to the section that says fun letter. And then the drop down will say Gift Friday. So all the poems that I have gifted are there. I only put the always the most recent video on there, but all of the gift poems are archived there. And you can click on one and download your free PDF copies. And Monday. So that's an 11 to 12-minute message. And then Monday, I do Monday morning moment, which is totally non-interactive. It's a taped message that I do, an inspirational message, 8 o'clock in the morning. Just come on, get your little whiff for the week and keep going. And then we'll be back here on Wednesday with our interactive message here on Glue Wednesday, where God's love undoes everything and keeps helping us find ways to keep it together. I'm glad that you keep me on your mind and in your hearts and on this broadcast so that I can keep delivering God's word, because that's what we do. All right. So what have I got? Let's see. Let me just see what I got for the final call. Look at Rogina. Later, Vic, not Victoria. And later, Regina, not Reggie. Oh, man, y'all. Thank y'all so much for the blessing. Thank y'all for the blessing. Y'all have a wonderful moment. And then guess what? That's a great prescription. Do it again. All right. Over and out. This is Sporty King. Let me see if I had anything I wanted to I did want to message with something. Also, check my message out on YouTube. Number one, they'll be in order so that you can see more than one at a time if you'd like, because they're listed as playlists. But it'll also help me with my YouTube status. So please go to YouTube and subscribe. I don't care if you go there and don't listen to the messages, because you listen, you're going to enjoy it. But go and subscribe, and then continue to make sure you join me on Facebook Live, and that's just fine. But please check it out on YouTube and share it with everybody. God is good. Over and out. Love y'all. Ciao.